Let's switch gears now. We've seen Harry and Meghan dominate headlines in the past 2 weeks with their 6-part reality series. You're a relationship expert. Do you see any hopes here of reconciliation? Can Harry heal the wounds with his father and brother and extended family?
Well, let me first say, before I answer your very relevant question, whether that family can be healed and can be reunited, let me first say that, the Harry and Meghan and William and Kate saga has really just undertaken a political overtone. People who are more conservative, with a more conservative bent, feel that the institution of the monarchy is important, and why are Harry and Meghan dumping on it? And people with a more liberal bent are saying she's being discriminated against because she's African American and a woman of color, et cetera. I think that Harry summed it up best when he said, well, whatever the story is, and obviously he has his story, and I'm sure that his brother would refute it, who would repudiate it. What he's saying is, I can't allow my wife to end up dead. My fear is she'll end up dead. She has not handled the press attention well, or the press harassment well, the way my mother did not handle it well. So I've got to move away from this. And then people say, what about his own hypocrisy? He's making money. He's still in the media. Yeah, but it's kind of on his own terms. And he just doesn't want the harassment of the paparazzi. We have to accept that a woman died here 25 years ago. And to say that Harry was not genuinely traumatized by the death of his mother, and under the worst circumstances, I remember it like it was yesterday. To say that he is not making decisions that are largely based on that, I would venture to say that's not being fair to him. And I'm a father, and I'm a husband. I'm also a brother.
I would venture to say that, Rabbi, because the experience is very different. Meghan is not Princess Di. She hasn't been treated like Princess Di. And she seemed to very much love the media attention, and when it was all adulation. It was only when there was some criticism mixed in that suddenly it was just intrusion and it was unbearable. And again, it's a little bit hard to buy this. We just want to live our lives and not have this media attention, where they're signing a $100 million Netflix series and having cameras in their kitchen and in their bedroom. And to me, it seems like, pick a story and stick with it. There's just so much confusion about what they say compared to what they actually do.
Well, I'm not saying that you aren't wrong about this, Rita. What I am saying is we all know about celebrity hypocrisy all across the world, that celebrities want fame on their own terms. They want their fans to buy their albums, and yet when you want them to sign an autograph, they'll often say, I'm in the middle of dinner, why are you bothering me? We all know there's hypocrisy. When it came to Diana, there was also hypocrisy. Everything you said about Meghan was also kind of true about Diana. She also courted publicity and did so with a lot of leaks, but she paid a very big price. What I'm saying is, in the final analysis, if you peel away this story from royalty and this big battle and institutions of monarchy, what you have is a man who is saying, whatever is going on, I don't want a repeat of the same. It doesn't mean that his wife is absolved of all guilt. She's not. It just means that he has to prioritize his nuclear family. His nuclear family is not his father and his brother and his sister-in-law. His nuclear family are his wife and 2 children. No matter how wrong Meghan may be, it's still his wife and his children. As a marriage counselor, I would tell a husband, you have to prioritize your family. But let's look for a second at the way Prince Andrew ended up. Monarchy is not normal. There's nothing normal about it. And the guy that is born first becomes the king. Look at poor Prince Andrew. I mean, his reputation is 1,000 times worse than Harry and Meghan. I'm not going to get into Jeffrey Epstein, et cetera. But when you don't get the crown, what are you supposed to do with your life? You basically kind of wander aimlessly looking for a purpose. I actually think that monarchy is unfair to anyone who practices it. I love Australia. I'm married to an Australian. I go there all the time. I always wonder, what is the Queen doing on the bills? Australia has a tenuous connection at best to Britain. I think Australia is far more connected to the United States than even Britain. I'm not saying that they should remove, the Queen has passed away. She was a great woman. I'm not saying they should not put King Charles III on their money. But let's admit that monarchy is an ossified relic of the past. It kind of works as a celebrity institution. But as a belief that some people are born blue-blooded and better than others, it really goes against the grain. And that's why America rebelled against it. I think Australians have in large measure as well. Australia keeps the monarchy because it's not an imposition. They're not paying huge taxes on the monarchy. It's kind of like a nice thing about the past. But most Australians have, besides reading the tabloids, have no connection to the monarchy.
Look, you're right. The celebrity aspect is interesting, but I think what most Australians really value about the monarchy is the stability it gives us in our government, in the way we do things. It is the head of state, but it is a largely ceremonial position. And we went to a referendum and we rejected a republic basically because there wasn't a model that we found that was superior to what we have. So it has its shortcomings, but it actually serves this country well. And I can't see, unless King Charles or King William go rogue, that will walk away from that institution in the short term anyway. Now I've got to ask you about this issue.
But let me make one point. It may bring stability to the people of Australia. It may bring stability to the people of Great Britain. It does not bring stability to the people who practice it. I almost feel bad for King Charles, Camilla, William. I mean, it's an abnormal life. These people are suffering. How long will we see them suffer before we decide that our stability should not come at their expense? There's not one royal who's kind of stable. And who can blame them? It's not normal to live like this. They
can abdicate if they don't want to. If they,
well, and one did. And one did.
Them to serve, but it is...
Edward VIII abdicated.
Yep. So that is an option, but it's supposed to be, and the Queen exemplified this better than anybody. It was a sense of duty. She served for 70 plus years, and that sense of duty was just so strong in her, and it's so lacking in Prince Harry. And I blame him. I don't blame Meghan for what we've seen, because he's the one who walked away from his family, his country, his duty. And if he walked away to save his nuclear family, then I would have no issue, but I just don't believe that's the case. I think he wants to have his cake. He wants all the titles and the adulation that comes with being a prince without any of the boring duty, turning up to unglamorous events and cutting ribbons and talking to people day and night. I don't think he's interested in that.